definitely gusty there. We've had gusts between 45 and 50 miles per hour. Right now, looking at that storm with 105 mile per hour winds. It's weakened just a touch. The good news, though, is that it's moving due northeast, which is what we want. None of this northeasterly business. Now it's starting to finally move northeast, which should take it along the coast instead of slamming it into any part of the South Carolina coastline, and probably will avoid a landfall in the lower North Carolina coast, but up toward the Outer Banks, that may be a different story. Speaking of North Carolina, the tornado threat has been with these outer bands that have been pushing in very heavy and lots of spin in the atmosphere when you're close to the center of circulation. Tornado warning there. Not too far off from New Bern until 5:30. And at least there's just one single tornado warning now. There were actually 4 just a little while ago. We watched that center of circulation again about 45 miles off the coast of Myrtle Beach, moving off to the northeast. So it's going to be bringing some of the surge as well as heavy rain and wind into Wilmington as we go into the evening hours. By 2 a.m. moving past Wilmington and then getting on toward areas like Morehead City. And then by 2 p.m. tomorrow should be off in the Atlantic. So afternoon, sun comes back out all across the Carolina coast, and that is going to be a great thing for, of course, those cleanup efforts because there are a lot of trees down. Now I want to pitch it over to meteorologist Ben Dornbach to get us the latest on Futurecast and what we can expect locally as we're heading closer to the weekend. Ben.
A whole lot of nothing in a nutshell, but warm weather is definitely going to be the main headline. But in terms of what's left of Dorian, now at 7 o'clock, between those times, we're going to have the continuation of the heavy rain bands and the strong winds around the Grand Strand. After 7, though, this thing really starts to get on out of here. So safe to say midnight at the latest. Most of the rain should be out of the area and into North Carolina, and we'll be left with just a few lingering showers, but I think this is a little bit overdone by Futurecast. So what we're seeing right now, once that gets out of here, we'll be reduced to just a few showers around the Myrtle Beach area. And then Friday morning, we could very well see a landfall around the Outer Banks. I think even at that's a stretch at this point with it moving straight northeast. So regardless of that, though, North Carolina along the coast will see some of the highest impacts during the morning hours on Friday. And then after that, we're going to see a pretty clear situation. So we got one lone shower over northern Greenville County around Caesars Head, but that's really about it. It's even tough to argue that that's even a part of Dorian. We've got some decent cloud cover too, but the sun is managing to make it through. Another thing we've got going on is a little bit of wind associated with Dorian, but it is so far outside the storm that you can even barely notice anything. Northeast winds at about 14-15 miles per hour. A few gusts around 20-25 miles per hour. As you can see, that's the case in both Asheville and Greenville. Higher wind gusts, though, are going to be found a little bit farther east around I-77 and areas east closer to Dorian. And as I said, we've had some decent sunshine break through some of these clouds that are parts of the moisture on the outer bands of Dorian. And as a result, we've gotten to 92 degrees at downtown Greenville, even 98 degrees in Elberton. So some pretty hot weather in the Upstate Mountains. A little bit more comfortable for you, mid-70s, mid-80s. So honestly, not too bad of weather. Hendersonville, you're cooler because, of course, that shower that moved over. 91 degrees, your high temperature, lots of sunshine, 84 in the mountains. So a great looking forecast. It continues into the weekend too. You can get that latest forecast right now online at foxcarolina.com.